Welcome back. We told you earlier in the news that the Bill Riley Talent Competition won't be happening at the Iowa State Fair. This is a big blow to the fair and all the competitors. Joining us now is Bill Riley, head of the talent show. And Bill, thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate the time and the opportunity to speak to everyone.
Absolutely. You know, the news came as a big shock to everybody in the newsroom. Just kind of hit us. We didn't expect this news. Tell us what fed into your decision.
Simply the safety of my performers. I refer to them as my family, and that comes back to when Dad was doing it. It's an amazing group of volunteers. It's a statewide program. Of course, as you mentioned, we culminated the Iowa State Fair with the championship on the final Sunday, but that's far from what defines the program. We are a statewide amateur talent program that touches nearly every county in the state, with over hundreds of thousands of participants in 3 generations through the years. So it literally breaks my heart to be sitting here and contemplating that it isn't going to happen in 2020.
And as you say, culminates at the Iowa State Fair because there is so much work and so much competing that happens before that. Was that the biggest trigger here? Was that you were already, that the decision had to come this early because the planning starts this early?
Jack, you're spot on. That's exactly correct. We've already had close to a dozen cancellations in our program, and that's not county fairs. Let me be clear. These are festivals like Johnston's summer celebration. I think it's called Green Days. They're probably going to get mad at me if I goof that up, but Story City Scandinavian Days is a wonderful, we've had shows there for years. Jill Brown's our coordinator. She was part of the talent show when Dad was doing it, she and her sister. So yes, that was the trigger because we had a lot of people asking questions, and we just couldn't wait. I have a responsibility to lead, and it's a difficult decision, but leadership is what they're going to get. I know some disappointment within this, but we feel it's the best pathway.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. I know that there's this big question in the mind of Iowans hanging out there this summer of what kind of a state fair we are going to see, and I'm curious to know what the state fair organizers, what their reaction was when you came to them with this news. When we arrive at the state fair, and we're there every day for all 11 days, we operate under the Department of Special Events, and that is led by my dear friend Tanya Cook. And of course, when Heather Torpy, my vice president, and I decided to make the decision to postpone the 2020 season, Tanya was one of the first persons that I reached out to. And of course, the news, I mean, it's not good. I then was invited a week later by Secretary Manager Gary Slater to do a meeting on Zoom with the Iowa State Fair Board. And we had a long discussion, heartfelt discussion. There were a lot of powerful comments, a lot of supportive comments. But we are an independent little program. Well, we're not so little, but we are independent of the Iowa State Fair. So we will always cherish and protect the opportunity to end up at the Iowa State Fair for our championship and as I said, the culmination of all of the fair and festival programs, all fair long, or summer long rather. But yeah, it's a tough decision, and we are very blessed. The Iowa State Fair has wonderful leadership and a tremendous board. There are 12 people that represent the 6 districts across the state of Iowa, yeah. And they've got their thumb on the heartbeat of this whole state. So my hat's off to all of those folks. They've got a tall job before them. Yep, and we are certainly hoping for the best as the summer goes forward. And yeah, shocking news that the Bill Riley Talent Competition won't be happening at the Iowa State Fair. Bill, we thank you for spending a few minutes with you, and we know that you'll be back, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you in 2021 at the Iowa State Fair. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Jack.